First of all, I introduce myself as Monsignor Daniel Nabuya, the Vicar General of Kotido Catholic Diocese. This morning, Francis Owen, in charge of our Diocesan radio, requested me if I could say something about the anger situation. I would say it is a dire situation. People are desperate. When I move around, going to other parishes or within the Cathedral Parish, I see that there are many people really who are suffering from anger and they are looking for a savior somewhere. I see them every day after Mass. I help people come to the cathedral there to talk about famine, to talk about hunger. And I see myself also becoming helpless, desperate, because I'm not able to answer to their needs. So that's what I can tell. It's something realistic. Many people report about it, that people are suffering in the villages there. And you don't have to report. When you move around, you realize the fields are dry. You can set a fire on some of them, and they start burning. People began cultivation, although not fully. Then for over 2 months now, the rain has disappeared. So that's what I can say. So when people talk about hunger, it is something that is understandable without calling somebody to explain.
Thank you, Monsignor. In this regards, what could you recommend? What would be your appeal to the Christian community elsewhere outside Karamoja sub-region?
Maybe I begin with what the diocese has been doing. Already in the months of May, our bishop, the Right Reverend Dominic Keibu, was worried by the situation when he saw many people also coming to the diocesan offices, or when he goes for pastoral visits and he sees how emaciated the people were, and priests were talking about famine. So in his own way, I would say, he started already making an alarm, as they say in Akarameli, to make an alarm. And on the 8th of June, he wrote a letter, an appeal to the chairman of Uganda Episcopal Conference, Right Reverend Joseph Anthony Sewa, asking him if he could also make an alarm, maybe to the sister dioceses, if they can make some contribution, food contribution or other things to save the Karamoja situation, not only Kotido, but also for South Karamoja, that's Moroto Diocese. So he wrote, and I saw Bishop Siwa, who is the chairman of Uganda Episcopal Conference, responded on the 26th of June by writing a letter to other bishops appealing for some support, food support for Karamoja. And because of that, I learned that already Sorority Catholic Diocese, they gave 10 bags of posho that they contributed to Kotido. And then Centenary Bank gave 10 million. And then there's also Center Group, which is bigger than Centenary Bank. It's a group of companies, has contributed 10 million. And also the friends of Bishop Dominic Ehibu, some friends of his, also gave some little money of about 4 million. So with that, the bishop is trying to buy some little food, which can be given to parishes. It's not the food that you can distribute to people because it's very little. But maybe those who come to ask to disturb the prisoner, the people who are vulnerable, disturbing them every day, or when they go out for pastoral activities, surely they encounter some people and they can ask them to take that food. So that's what the diocese is doing, and still we are trying to appeal. I hope people will come to our rescue. Already from within, we are also appealing to the Christians. But sometimes the people who are already suffering, we are not to give you much, but we say if there is anybody who has something little, can share with the other. Maybe not to bring to the diocese, but you can help your friend. If you are able to bring to the bishop or to the parishes, it's well and good. Yeah. What I would say is to tell our people to be calm, not to be so much alarmed. This is not the first time. Myself, I was a young boy in 1980 when I experienced a lot of famine really, which I thought was the worst. There was nothing to buy. At least now there is something to buy. No salt, no sugar, no, you couldn't talk of food. Even these wild fruits in the bush, they were not there. That was the worst time. But people managed to survive. So my appeal to the people is that even if the situation is now worsening, they should not panic. They should remain calm. Then secondly, the spirit of generosity should be practiced. Because there are some people who may be lucky, not because they have harvested now, but maybe through some other ways, they have something so they can share with the other people. And then also, it is good to practice what I call justice. Because if people start stealing, going to rob homes, that will worsen the situation. So people should again live by the Catholic ethos or ethics, where you have to practice justice, You give each one what is due to him or her. That is my appeal to the Christians. And then we continue praying for the best, that God may send rain. Maybe people will grow a bit of cowpeas, vegetables, these short-term crops, and maybe survive on those. Then also, for those there in the villages, there are some who may be having cows. So it is again my appeal that we are lucky that there is some food coming from other parts of Uganda. I see in town here they bring sorghum and lorries. But if somebody is able to sell a goat for those who have, they should buy enough food to stop. Because I think ahead is even threatening if the rain doesn't come. And for the Karamajong who already have their fixed time of planting, they say if this is, once somebody has gone beyond July, say, I don't. We plant from March, and then after July, that's the end. So, lastly, last but not least, I would still say, if the rains come, let us be optimistic and continue planting something. Let us not give up. And then, of course, my last appeal is to the government. I have been reading in news that the government of Uganda has released or is planning to release 45 to maybe 50 billion for the hunger situation in Karamoja. So it is my appeal that the government speeds that. The things of the government, there is a long procurement process. So by the time they release that food, maybe I don't know how many millions have died. So if it can be really hurried with, expended urgently, so that the food is sent to Karamoja and distributed. I don't say that to a few. I have heard some RIC saying that selected people. Well, I see everybody is suffering. Okay, there are those critical people. But I think it is good to give to all and maybe hard, to those who are vulnerable, very vulnerable. So that's my appeal now to both to the Christians around and to the government as such and to the donor community outside Uganda.